resources in which you have entrusted to our care. And I ask that the words of our mouths and the meditations of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Now, Madam Attorney, time to open reasonable opportunity for the public to be heard. I am reporting that for the first time, I don't have any cards. So, so I'm asking, is there anyone in the public wishing to speak right now? All right, see no one approaching? No one? I'm closing the reasonable opportunity for the public to be heard. Madam Attorney, any changes in the agenda, today's agenda, that we need to be aware of?
There are no changes, Commissioner. At this time, it would be appropriate to set the agenda.
Thank you so much.
moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Do any of my colleagues wishes to bifurcate any of the items?
I do not, and I'm happy to move all the items if there's no bifurcations.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Say aye.
Aye. Yeah, but before we adjourn, I'd like to thank the advisory board, Domestic Violence Advisory Board, for wonderful, detailed, and comprehensive report. I wish to thank you, and I'm looking forward to partner with you more to show that important film, because I read the report in detail, and then I realized that in terms of education and outreach, that we need to do more, and I'd like to partner with you to do so. I also understand that we do need to have more education materials in different languages, like in Spanish, in Creole, and other, especially with the World Cup approaching. I think I would like to work with you to see what this would look like, to have information that we will spread around bathrooms, airports, and things like that. So I'm looking forward to do that. And thank you for a very comprehensive and detailed report. Anything else from, yes?
Yeah, if I could just add that, thank you, especially the information on our unsheltered is very good. My father sits on the board of Lotus House. I mean, we know that we need beds. So I really appreciate the detail because I think a lot of people in our community don't understand the need for separation between, these communities and how long it takes specifically women to go from being unseen to seen. So thank you for that. I agree with Madam Chair. I think that as we move forward, we talk about a lot of different topics, but I think we're getting to a place specifically in the area of domestic violence, where we're talking more about the time that it takes to restart your life. And I think there's a better understanding of that. And for the folks who are listening that don't know about seen and unseen, Google it. It's such an important component because for a long time when we were talking about homelessness, we would measure everyone with the same time span. And that's just not the case. So I think when we're dealing with domestic violence, now I think there's an understanding that we need a 2 to 3 year period as opposed to the 18 months. And the paradigm and the homeless trust has kind of leaned into that too. So I really appreciate that part of the data and the report. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. I do have a quick, yes, Jimmy?
I don't want to interrupt this conversation. I just wanted to ask if we could waive item 3B to the February 18th BCC meeting.
Yes, so moved.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, all right. Any action needs to be taken. It's going to be moved, okay? I do have a quick question, though. In terms of, can you come forward, please? In terms of immigrants, right? We know undoubtedly there's a lot of fear out there. And then as a mental health professional, I'm concerned that more and more women who are victimized are scared to death to come forward. So what are we doing? I know you mentioned that a little bit. I'd like to hear from you. what is being done to make sure we encourage women and men, some men for that matter, not to suffer in silence?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Regalado. I'm the Executive Director of the Miami-Dade County Domestic Violence Oversight Board. I really want to also include our partners, Community Services Department, because they are in the front line. But I do know that the important thing in every campaign related to domestic violence is to let people know in creative ways, survivors and family members, that we are here, the resources are here, and that they are not alone. That's critical, especially during this time when we know that people are very hesitant to come forward. So we have meetings throughout the community and the service providers. We just had one last Friday, the Domestic Violence Sexual Assault Council, and we were talking about precisely how to reach out to those communities where we know they are in fear of asking for help. And that's one of the reasons why immigration and pro bono legal services is so critical during these times, because we know that that's one of the weapons that the batterer uses towards the victim to keep her under his campaign of terror.
Thank you so much.
So I don't know if Kashdi would like to say anything, CSD, about what you're doing,
Please.
what you're seeing.
Thank you so much. I understand that as we speak, we don't have anyone waiting. Everyone in needs of placement is placed in a timely manner. There is no delay. Am I understanding this correctly?
That is correct, Madam Chair. Kathy Burgos, Director of the newly established Community Services Department, and as both Liz and Cecile have testified, we are partners, right, in serving one of the most vulnerable populations locally. So in terms of the question that was asked, yes, we continue to provide a continuum of care for those who are victims of domestic violence. And on the prevention piece, I love the fact, Chair, that you stated the importance of really providing the outreach services. For these victims, it's extremely important to catch them at the front end, a preventive approach. And the way that the Community Services Department is doing is throughout all of our outreach services. We're also partnering with our mayor in really understanding not only the needs, but really rolling up our sleeves and providing and implementing outreach services to have a family-focused approach when serving those who are in need.
Thank you, Ms. Burgess. And I really like the partnership, the close partnership that the administration and then the advisory board, has. I think it's important. There was an alarming data in the report that I hope that I will continue to engage you to see how we can decrease the number of murder-suicide relating to domestic violence. So I'm alarmed about that, and I think we probably need to do more. And I think we can do more. So I'm looking forward to partner with you to have conversations as to how we can get this prevention information and education out there, especially to women who do not have the resources to just get out. We don't want anyone to die just because they don't know how to get out. So this is something I really would like to look at. And thank you so much. And then keep this partnership alive. Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Chair,
Yes. Oh, hold on.
go ahead, Commissioner.
So I just wanted to touch on the federal U visas and the state U visas. So at the state level, when we passed laws protecting human trafficking victims, right, that were coming from other countries that are also falling in that same sort of immigrant status, I think it's really important that we get that information out in the outreach. If they only knew that the U visas are in fact a protection because they are a victim to a crime and they are protected so that they can testify in court. So I think it's helpful because many of the women that I spoke to that were human trafficking victims were also victims of domestic violence. It kind of goes hand in hand, unfortunately. But they didn't know that there are some protections for them. So I think, Madam Chair, if we could get that information, part of the information that we send out in outreach, that there is protections because you are a victim of a crime, and that protection will help you stay in the country, and sometimes it even extends to giving you a special status. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. And then you had something else you wanted to add? You were about to say something.
Thank you, Chair. To your point, right, the importance of really having those prevention services, the outreach services, I would just like to emphasize that with this merger, we have all social services within one department. So even if we're serving a child over at our juvenile assessment center, and we have a parent who reports being a victim, we can quickly address their needs. And that's the benefit of having a comprehensive continuum of care, to your point, Chair, to detect the services that are needed early on, because we know that it's all about prevention.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So, Madam Attorney, I believe that we've already agreed to move item 3B to the next BCC. Anything else, Madam Attorney?
If nothing else, a motion to adjourn is in order.
All right.
Second.
All right. All in favor? Adjourn. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Necessary first step. It recognizes that innovation and individual rights can go hand in hand, really. I think the bill embraces the opportunities that come from AI while also drawing very clear lines to protect our privacy, protect our dignity, and to protect basic fairness for Floridians.
The bill now makes its way to the Senate Appropriations Committee before a potential floor vote. For the Florida Channel, I'm Vance Osteen.
You are watching the Florida Channel, connecting Florida.
As the governor calls upon lawmakers to address artificial intelligence during the legislative session, Senator Brian Avila told the Senate Regulated Industries